In a world where everyone has a voice, should there be a limit to what we can say? I'm talking about freedom of speech. It's one of the cornerstones of the democracy, right? The power to say what we believe, express our ideas, criticize authority, and share our truth. But here's the question that no one likes to ask. Should freedom of speech have limits? If we are free to say anything, what happens when the words start to hurt, divide, or incite? Let's rewind a bit. Remember when the printing press came along long time ago and revolutionized the communication? Suddenly, people had the power to share ideas on a massive scale. Books, pamphlets, newspapers became the new battleground for new thought. The American and the French revolutions were fueled by the newfound freedom to express radical ideas. Freedom of speech, in many ways, gave the birth to modern democracy. But with this power came a new set of problems. What happens when the words aren't just tools for change, but the weapons for harm? Let's fast forward to 20th century, where a darker side of free speech started to emerge. Nazi Germany. Remember, Hitler's rise to power wasn't just through the violence, it was through words. His speeches ignited hate, turned neighbor against neighbor, and justified the genocide. His words were legal in Germany at that time. So, should there be a limit to what he could say? In more recent years, we have seen how speech could cause real-world harm. Take a 1994 Rwandan genocide. Radio broadcast fueled hatred, encouraging violence against Tutsi population. Words alone led to one of the most horrific massacres in the history. 80,000 people were killed in 100 days. And then there is this digital age, the internet, where free speech has gone global, unfiltered and unregulated. On one hand, it's incredible. Anyone with an internet connection can share their thoughts, challenge governments, and spark movements. But on the other hand, we have seen how misinformation and hate speech spread like wildfire. From the viral spread of conspiracy theories to the online bullying that has driven people to give up their lives. And we left asking where exactly we can draw the line. Here's where things get tricky. In most democracies, freedom of speech isn't absolute. Even in the United States, where the First Amendment is held up sacred, there are limits. You can't yell fire in crowded theater if there is no fire. You can't threaten somebody's life, and hate speech, incitement to violence, defamation, these are all examples of speech that are restricted by law. But is this enough? Some argue that limiting speech, even speech that's harmful, is a slippery slope to censorship. Once we put the restriction on what we can and cannot say, where does it exactly stop? But other argues that without limits, speech can lead to chaos. Words have power. They can inspire revolutions, but they can also incite hatred, violence, and destruction. And in the world where social media amplifies every voice, good, bad, ugly, faster than ever before, the consequences of unchecked speech are more dangerous than ever. Remember 2016, the Pizzagate conspiracy, false claims leading to violence, or 2017 Myanmar Rohingya crisis, hate speech fueling ethnic violence, 2018 India's WhatsApp lynchings, or 2019 Christchurch mosque shooting, and the world famous 2020 US Capitol riots. All of these are raising one question. These movements are forcing us to ask, how far should freedom of speech go? Can world disconnected handle absolute freedom without any consequences? It's a question we have been actually asking for centuries. So here's where we are left. Is freedom of speech truly free, or do we need to rethink how we can define it in a world where words have more power than ever before? In the next episode, we'll dive into another hot topic. Should governments regulate big tech? But for now, drop your thoughts in the comments. How far should freedom of speech go? Is censorship ever justified, or is it too dangerous? Until then, you have a wonderful day, and as I always say, stay away from danger of single story.